Hi, and welcome to this District 99 informational video on how to use Pathways. So for those of you that are just starting with Pathways, this video will give you a quick introduction. So the first thing you need to do is know that you go to the Toastmasters.org website, and when you get to the main page, you'll see that along the top there is a menu, and we're particularly interested in the Pathways menu. So if this is your first time in, you're going to go to the Take the Assessment. And I'm not going to cover that in this video, but essentially this will ask you questions and get you to pick one of the various different choices that you have for paths. Once you've got that done, it'll log you in. So now I'm going to show you this time, what I'm going to show you is how you access your path on subsequent visits. So I click on Access My Path through Basecamp. I go in and I type in my user ID and my password. If you don't know your password, then you would simply click on the Forgot Password link, and that would take you in and get you to enter your email address. The email address is the one that your club has on file for you as your primary email address with Toastmasters International. And my member ID, I just happen to be lucky that there's nobody else that uses Glenn.Walker. I would usually put my entire email address. The other option is you could put your member number in here and use that to log in. So I'm going to log in. It will take it a second. And I will see the Pathways learning experience come up. Now, for most people, you won't see a drop down here because you are probably only a member of one club. I happen to be a member of 2 or 3 clubs, so it gives me an opportunity here to pick which club I want to represent when I go in, and I can log in as a member. You also have access to the navigator from here, so you can launch and this will give you instructions on using Pathways. I'm going to log in as a member, and when I come in, you'll see a screen that looks like this. Now, the options that are here are sometimes a little bit confusing as to where to get started. Navigating Basecamp will take you into a series of videos that will talk about how you navigate Basecamp. Normally when you come in, the first thing you're going to want to do is go into My Education Transcript. And when you click on this, you'll see in here a list of things that you've been in. You'll notice I've been doing some things, and you'll see I have an effective coaching entry. So normally what would do this, when you first come in, would say activate, so you'd click on it to activate it, and then it would change the button to say open curriculum. When you click on open curriculum, it would open up your curriculum. And so depending on what level you're on, I happen to be on level 3, but if I go back to level 1, this is what you would see the first time. And these buttons would all say activate, and you would activate the icebreaker. Now, one thing that you have to do when you first start out is you must do the icebreaker first. And so if I launch the icebreaker, you're going to see it go off and it's going to open a window. If you have a pop-up blocker enabled on your web browser, you have to turn it off. And this is going to open up my curriculum, the icebreaker project. And now I can see the icebreaker project. And you'll see that it's playing this introductory video. And as I want to move through, I just hit the arrows to move me through the project. You can also, at the bottom, you notice here that you can jump to the beginning anywhere in the project. So here is the beginning, and as I go through, it gives me the introduction, and I just go through, and I can, every once in a while, there'll be instructions that you can go through. You can print your project if you want. There's a checklist usually with every project to help you out. And one of the things that you'll have to do with every project is do an assessment. And the assessment essentially takes you through, asks you questions about how you feel about the project before. And then once you've completed the project, you'll also notice that afterwards, so I'm just going through the screens. This is all the stuff you would do to prepare. You notice there's buttons here. If I click on them, the words change. It's just to help you go through the material. And finally, when I get to the point of actually doing my speech, after my speech, then I would come in here and I would go through and fill out an assessment again. And you might ask yourself, why would I do an assessment twice? Well, the reason you would do an assessment twice is because they want to know how you feel before and they want to know how you feel after. And you might notice that if before your scores were lower, perhaps after the assignment your scores were higher. Completing this assessment is what actually triggers the system to know that you've completed the project. So now once I've got to this screen, it will have recorded that I completed that project, and then when I close this window, it would refresh. You'd go back and you would see that you've actually completed the project, and it'll change the status to completed. Here you can see that all mine are changed to completed. I've actually completed my level 1, and if I look at level 2, I've completed my level 2, and I'm working on level 3 right now. So you'll see here that I've actually got this project that I've started on. So if I launch that one, I could go through and I could start working on my Reaching Consensus project. And then you'll see that in here there are elective projects. So if I click on this, it tells me, you'll see that it says there I need 2 in there. So here's an example of what the buttons look like before you've actually used it. You would see activate. So in here I could go in and activate any 2 of these projects, launch them, review the material, and actually do the assignment. And as I complete the assignment, it would finish and you would actually see a completion indicator here just to let you know that you've completed it. So that's how easy it is to get into here. And again, when we did that from the home page. I'll go back to the home page, and we went in through My Education Transcript. Everything you do will be pretty much through there. You'll also notice at the bottom of this page that after you've been in there, there are shortcuts to get you in quickly. So for example, I've been in effective coaching. I can quickly jump into there. There's also quick links for anything that I've done in terms of evaluations. That's the other button that's kind of interesting here, is speech evaluations. So if you want to go in quickly and you're doing a speech and you want to download your evaluation resource, you can go in here, and all of the evaluation resources for various speeches is in here. So for example, I'm going to go in and I'm going to find the icebreaker, which icebreaker should be under I for icebreaker. There it is. If I click on it, it brings up this page. I say I want to launch it. It's going to open it up again in a little window. And here we see the icebreaker project, the evaluation form. So this is just the evaluation form. If you wanted to print out the actual icebreaker project, that was on one of the screens in the icebreaker as you went through it online. You can actually print out from here. You can go in and say I want to print this, and bring up the printer box, set your settings, hit the print button, and it should print a copy for you to take to your meeting. That's how easy it is. If you feel so inclined, you can go in here and enter in your name and the date that you're going to do the speech. And if you know the name of your evaluator, put that in there, and something interesting about me. And at that point then, if I print it, it will actually have that stuff pre-printed in. Optionally, if you wanted to, you could send this to your evaluator, and then if they wanted to, they could actually type their evaluation in and record it. You'll notice that one of the key features of all evaluation sheets is they have this last page which explains what the ratings are, so that people can go through and very quickly, when they're doing this 1 to 5 rating for you on this second page, can actually have something to look at to kind of understand what number they should be picking as they're giving you their ratings. At least gives you some criteria as to how to do that. So those are some of the basics of using the Pathways learning experience. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a tour around. We'll get into some more advanced topics such as how to do feedback. That's one of the other systems. There's a button here that you can actually provide feedback to other members simply by going in and entering feedback. And it also allows people to give you feedback if they want to send you an attaboy or give you a badge. This is where they would do that. And in here is where you can actually see what badges you've earned. If I go in here, I should see that I have achieved level 2 in my effective coaching. and I'm working on strategic relationships and effective coaching are the two different paths that I'm working on. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an introduction to the system and shows you how easy it is to get in and actually move through and actually find the materials you need to be able to prepare your speeches. Till next time, that is a very simple introduction to pathways.